Hi champs, so welcome back again to all of you in the fifth day of the week of code. So let's start the session. Okay, so first let's talk about the yesterday assignment. And in the yesterday assignment, you have to add the game over screen when the time reaches to the 0. So again, if you are facing any problem during completing the assignment, then you can ask your question on the WhatsApp, Google Classroom, and without any hesitation, you can ask your question in the weekend live doubt session. So by the way, in this assignment, you have to just change the screen, you have to just change the backdrop when the time reaches to the 0. When your game is stopped, just change the backdrop. But still you are facing any problem? No problem. We are here for solving your problem. Just ask your question and we will resolve it. Okay, so today we will make the chatbot, a conversation robot, which will give you the reply automatically. Okay, so champs, can you tell me what is chatbot according to you? What is chatbot according to you? Yeah, it's a conversation robot which will give you the reply according to your question. So the chatbot which we are going to make today, it will look something like it. It will ask a different question from you and give the reply according to your question. According to your answer. As are able to see on the screen, it is asking where you live. And after replying the question, it's saying that's awesome. Okay, so see the video again of the same project which we are going to make today. Okay. So first, let's see about the different controls, different blocks which we are going to use for making the chatbot application. And the first one is if-else control. So if you want to control something based on the condition, then in that situation, we use the if then else. So in this hexagon block, we put the condition. And you can find this block under the control section in the Scratch editor. So in this hexagon block, we put the condition. And if this condition is going to satisfy, if the condition is going to true, then write the set of instructions for performing the action below the if. And if the condition is not going to true, if the condition is not going to satisfy, then write the set of instructions below the else. And the next one is if then. So the last one is if then else. And this one is if then. So like the last one, in the hexagon block, put the condition. If this condition going to satisfy, then write the set of instructions for performing the action below the if. Okay. So there are the two blocks. The first one is if then else, and the another one is if then. So if you know already what should be happen, if the condition is not going to satisfy, then use this if then else. But if you don't know what should be happen when the condition is not going to satisfy, then use this if then block. So if you don't know what should be happen when the condition is not going to satisfy, then use this if then block. Yeah. For example, if you will eat the food, eat the meal, then you will get the energy. Else you will not get the energy. So in that situation, you know the both condition. If the condition is going to satisfy, then what will happen? If the condition is not going to satisfy, then what will going to happen? Then in that situation, use the if then else. But is there any situation where you don't know what should be happen when the condition is not going to satisfy? Then you can use this if then block. Okay, so come on the next block, and the next block is join operator, and you can find this block under the operator section. And as its name describes, we will use this block for joining the two things together. So if you want to join two things together, then use this join block. Okay, so let's see this join block first in the Scratch editor. So go to the scratch.mit.edu, click on the create button, and so first go to the event section. When I flag click, the cat will say hi. So for saying something, go to the look section and say hello. Now click on the flag icon and see the changes on the stage. So when I've clicked on the flag, the cat is saying hello. So go to the operator section and we want to just see the join operator. So drag the join. Oh, so is there join or not? Yeah. So there is join block. And if you want to join two things together, like hello, Ankit. So now it will say hello Ankit. So just for joining the two things together, we use the join block. Come on this slide again. And the next block which we are going to use in the chatbot application is the ask block. And the most used block which we are going to use in this chatbot application. So you can find this block under the sensing section. So using this ask block, you can ask any question, and the reply of this ask block, will be saved in the answer variable. So this is the block, inbuilt block in the Scratch editor. So if you are asking any question using this block, then the answer is going to save in this answer block. Okay, so let's see the join and the ask together. So go to the scratch.mit.edu on the same. So first, when I click on the flag, ask the question. So for asking the question, go to the sensing section, drag the ask block, and you can also edit this question. So I'm asking, what's your name? You will give the reply. The answer of this ask block will be saved in the answer variable. So I will join the two things together. First, which is the wish, hi, hello. And the second one is your answer, which could be any name. So let's see on the stage. So when I click on the flag icon, first ask the question, which is what's your name? And when I will give the reply, it is saying hello Ankit. So again, when I clicked on the flag icon and I'm saying Prateek, so now it will say hello Prateek. Each time, according to your name, it will give the reply. And the reply of this ask block will be saved in the answer variable. So for this, we are joining the two things together. The first one is hello, and the another one is answer of this ask block. Mohan. So it will say hello Mohan. So come on this slide again. So again, divide your project into the two parts. The first one is state decoration and the another one is coding. So first decorate your stage with the night city background and the robot sprite. So open a new tab, go to the scratch.mit.edu, click on the create button, rename it from untitled to chatbot, and decorate your stage with the night city background and the robot sprite. So first delete this cat sprite because there is no any use of this here. And click on this section for adding the night city background. In the search bar, just search night city and choose any one of them. Okay, so you can choose any one of them. I'm choosing the first one. And now add the robot sprite. So click on this icon, click on choose a sprite. In the search bar, just write robot. Yeah, and you can choose any one of them. Okay, so choose the first one. And now click on the costume section to see the different costume of the same sprite. So if you want to choose this costume of the robot sprite, then you can, and also this one, but choose the first or second, either one of them. So I'm choosing the second one, yeah, yellow robot, and place it to the bottom left corner. So now we have decorated the stage with the night city background and the robot sprite. And now the time to write the code for making the chatbot application. So come on the slides and see the steps for writing the code. So we are done with the state decoration. And now come on the coding part. And in the coding part, the first step is when we click on the robot, so the robot is the sprite. So when we click on the sprite, ask the question, what's your name? Simple, as we have done earlier. So instead of adding the when flag clicked event, as we are doing earlier, just choose the when is the sprite click. Go to this, the same project which we are doing earlier. Go to the event section, drag the event when this sprite click. Because according to the step 1, when we click on the robot, we have to ask the question, what's your name? So when this sprite click, go to the sensing section for asking the question. Ask, what's your name? And we are done with the step number 1. So click on the sprite and see the changes on the stage. So now when I've clicked on the sprite, it's asking what's your name. So come on the slides and see the next step. And the next step is when you reply your name. So first is asking your name, and when you replied your name, then the robot will greet to you with hi plus your name. And for joining the two things together, hi plus your name, we will use the join operator. So after asking the question, first stop the program. The robot will say hi plus your name, and the answer of this block is going to save in the answer variable. So go to the look section for saying something. So say something for some second, not for every time. So for this I am choosing the first one block. Say hi plus your name. So now we have to join the two things together. So for this region, we are going to use the join block, and you can find this block under the operator section. So drag the join block. In the first one, just write the greet message, which is hi, comma, and give some space. And in the another one, it will say your name. So for saying your name, because the name is saving in the answer variable, so drag this and join, attach it under the join block. So say hi plus your name for 2 seconds. So first click on the sprite, give the reply, for example my name is Ankit, and click enter, and now the robot is saying hi Ankit. So we are also done with the second step. So come again on the slides. And the next step is, after this the robot will ask you, again we have to add the ask block, and now the robot will ask, where do you live? So the next question is, where do you live? So we have to add this block in the same way. We have to write the code for the third step in the same way as we are writing for the first step. But instead of asking the what's your name, just ask where do you live. So go to the same project, go to the sensing section for asking the question, drag this block, attach it below to the say, and instead of asking the what's your name, just ask where do you live. Okay, so we are also done with the third step. So first check it by clicking on the sprite. So after asking the first question, now it's asking where do you live. So for the next step, come again on the slides. Come again on the slides. And the next step is, when you replied your location, so in the step number 3, it is asking where do you live. And when you replied your location, the robot will say, that's awesome. So again go to the chatbot application. And then now the robot will say, that's awesome. So go to the look section and just add say that's awesome for some second. That's it. simple one. Let's see the changes by clicking on the sprite. So when I've clicked on the sprite, first the robot is asking what's your name. To give it reply, and after putting my reply, click on the enter, or you can also click on this right arrow. The robot is saying hi Ankit. After this, it's asking the question, where do you live? So when I give the reply, Delhi, now the robot is saying that's awesome. So we are also done with the step number 4. Now come on the next step. So in the step number 5, the robot will ask again at the ask block for asking the question. But now the robot will ask, are you okay? So as we are adding the ask block in the step number 1 and 3, in the same way at the ask block for the step number 5 in the code and ask the question, are you okay? So go to the same project, the Scratch editor, go to the sensing section for adding the ask block. Now write the question, are you okay? Let's see the changes, it's working or not by clicking on the sprite. Okay, so it's asking the question, are you okay? So for the further step, come on the slides, and after asking the question, are you okay? If your answer is yes, then it will say, the robot will say, or the sprite will say, that's great to hear. Else, the robot will say, oh no. So in this situation, we know if the condition is going to satisfy, okay. So in this situation, we know if your answer is yes, if the condition is going to satisfy, then it will say that's good to hear, else it will say oh no. So for this, we will use the if then else block. If the answer is equal to yes, then it will say it's great to hear, else it will say oh no. Because we know what should be happening if the condition is not going to satisfy. So go to the chatbot application in the Scratch editor, and after asking the are you okay question, compare the answer of the question. Okay. So now we are asking the question, are you okay? The answer of this question is going to save in the answer variable. So if the answer is equal to yes, if the answer is equal to yes, then it will say that's great to hear, else it will say oh no. So go to the control section, first drag the if then else, and now compare the answer. So for comparing the answer, go to the operator section, drag the comparison block, equivalent comparison, and attach this block under the condition. And here we have to compare the answer. So in the first one block, add the answer variable. And if the answer is equal to yes, then the robot will say that's great to hear. For this, go to the look section, drag the say block, and in the first input, just write that's great to hear. Else it will say oh no. And now check the same thing by clicking on the sprite. So first it will ask your name, then your city, and then your condition. So if I'm saying yes, then it will say that's great to hear. So again check it with the no. City. Now it will ask your condition. So if I'm saying no, if I'm giving the reply no, then it's saying oh no. So come again on the slides. Okay. So we are done with it. And in the same way, you can ask a different set of questions. And you can make a story game. Or the conversation robot, chatbot. So come on the challenge. And the challenge is, the today challenge is, when the robot asks, are you okay? If your answer is yes, then change the robot costume with the happy motion. And if your answer is equal to no, then change the robot costume with the sad emotion. So now, based on the reply, instead of saying something, just change the robot costume with the happy emotion and with the sad emotion. And for changing the costume, you can go to the look section and you can change the costume. So go to the Scratch editor with the same project and just complete your challenge within 5 minutes. So when the robot is asking, are you okay? If your answer is yes, then change the robot costume with the happy emotion. If your answer is equal to no, then change the robot costume with the sad emotion. Okay, so let's see the same challenge on the Scratch editor. So now we have to change the costume of the robot. If the answer is equal to yes, then change it with the happy emotion. If the answer is equal to no or else, then change it with the sad emotion. So first, for changing the costume with the happy emotion and the sad emotion, first create a costume. So go to the costume section and we have to make with the same costume. So right click on this, click on duplicate and name it to the happy. Again right click on it, click on duplicate and name it to the sad. So in the happy one, just make a smile. And for drawing the smile, you can use the brush. You can set the size of the brush. Like here I'm setting 2. And also you can choose the color. And just make a smile. Oh, it's not looking good. Okay, so here I'm making the smile. In the same way, in the sad costume, click on the sad costume. And for adding the sad emotion, just make a sad face. That's it. And now we have to just write the code for changing the costume for the default one to happy and the sad. So go to the code section. If the answer is equal to yes, then change the costume to the happy. And for changing the costume, go to the look section. And there is a block for switching the costume from one to another. So drag this block, switch costume to happy, else switch costume to sad. Now check it by clicking on the sprite. Oh, but there is a problem. as we are able to see in this starting. So now the robot is always set. So first set the default costume. So when I click on the sprite, set the costume. The name of this costume is Retro Robot B. So set the costume to Retro Robot B. Okay. So click on the sprite and see again. And now the robot is with the default emotion, neutral emotion. So first it's asking the name, then your city, and now it's asking your condition. So if the answer is equal to yes, then the robot is saying that's great to hear, and also changing the emotion. But it's taking some time for changing the emotion. And the reason is, if the answer is equal to yes, first it's saying that's great to hear for 2 seconds, and after 2 seconds it's changing the costume. So just attach this block, change the position of this block, and the same for this one. And now according to your answer, it will instantly change the emotion without taking any delay. So again click on the sprite and see the changes. So now if I'm saying yes, the robot will change the emotion instantly, and it's saying that's great to hear. And again check for the no also. And now if I'm saying no, it will instantly change the emotion and say, oh no. Okay. So come again on these slides. So we are done with the chatbot application. And for the assignment, you have to change the location. And for changing the location, first of all, ask the question. And the question is, where do you want to go? And you can ask the question by using the ask block. And ask the question with the 4 options, like school, playground, space, and party. And if your answer is equal to school, then change the location to the school. If your answer is equal to school, then change the backdrop from the night city to school. In the same way, for the playground to playground, space to space, and party to party. So this is your today's assignment. You have to change the location according to your answer. So first of all, ask the question with the 4 options and change the location according to your answer. And that's it. So don't forget to submit your assignment before the next session. And if you're facing any problem during completing the assignment, then just ask your question on WhatsApp in the Google Classroom, and still you are not able to resolve the problem, no problem. You can ask your question in the live doubt session. So bye, see you tomorrow on the same platform with the next project. And the next project which we are going to make tomorrow is Paint app. So bye.